The memories we've created and the artistic collaborations are etched in my heart forever.
Mariah Carey and Bryan Tanaka recently broke up, but what happened and why does Mariah keep having such bad luck when it comes to her relationships? Here's what we know. Bryan just announced that he and Mariah were going their separate ways after 7 years together. Obviously, this came as a major shock to everyone for a lot of reasons. First, when you stay in a relationship with someone for as long as 7 years, everyone automatically assumes that you're endgame. So there's that. But then there's also the fact that a few months ago, Bryan was openly gushing about how perfect Mariah is and how he's so in love with her. So how did their relationship go from this to Bryan announcing their split on Instagram? Well, supposedly the reason Bryan and Mariah decided to give up on their relationship was because they couldn't agree on children. Mariah already has 2 kids with Nick Cannon, Moroccan and Moreau, and she's apparently not interested in having any more kids, while Bryan, on the other hand, wanted to start a family with her. But if this is really why they broke up, this must have been an issue for them for years. I mean, think about it. Mariah and Bryan were together for a really long time, and people don't just stay together for that long if they don't see the relationship as a serious one. And when you have a serious relationship, you discuss these kinds of topics. So it must have come up before. There are a handful of things that can ruin any relationship no matter how strong, and the issue of kids is definitely one of them. So it's possible that when Mariah and Bryan finally realized that they couldn't agree on a middle ground, they decided to call it quits. But I wouldn't put my money on them staying separated for long. I mean, this isn't the first time Bryan and Mariah have split up. In 2017, they broke up, and just a month later, they got back together because they couldn't stay away from each other. Obviously, this doesn't mean that they will definitely get back together again. After all, we only started suspecting that they had broken up because Bryan didn't join Mariah for her Christmas tour. This was something that he always used to do. So obviously his absence raised a lot of questions, and he answered most of them with his Instagram post, although he didn't answer everything. Bryan's post answered a ton of questions, but there's one question that only Mariah can answer, and that question is about her relationships. Mariah hasn't had the greatest luck in love. I mean, she's pretty amazing at writing songs about it, but living it is probably not so great. Somehow, she always finds herself with the wrong guy. So this has to make you wonder, what is she doing wrong? And most importantly, why can't she find Mr. Right? Well, I have a couple of theories about this. What if she's just looking for the right guy in all the wrong places? One of her issues could be going for guys of the wrong ages. I mean, she and Bryan literally ended their seemingly perfect relationship because he wanted children and she didn't. Maybe if she had gotten together with someone her age or a little bit older than her, that wouldn't have been a problem. Mariah's 54 right now, and at that age, most people aren't looking to have more kids. They just want to settle down and spend the rest of their lives having fun and doing what they love. So it's understandable that Mariah just wants to keep doing her thing without wanting to take care of a child. So wouldn't getting together with someone her age be better for her? Bryan is 40, so they had a pretty big age gap. And even though love doesn't always have much to do with age when it comes to consenting adults, things like life goals and timelines do. It makes it more challenging to make future plans in your relationship when you have a big age difference. Another issue might be that Mariah keeps going for guys who are less successful than she is. Obviously, there aren't that many men who are as successful as Mariah, but maybe she should look into dating someone closer to her level of fame, because going for people who are less successful than her could potentially be causing some tension in her relationships. I mean, obviously these are all just my theories. It's possible that there's a lot going on in Mariah's life that we just don't know about. Actually, that's pretty likely, seeing as she hasn't said a single word about her and Bryan's breakup. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens next. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if she and Bryan got back together again, but if their main issue really is about kids, then I don't know. Would it really solve anything if they got back together, or would they just be dealing with the same issues over and over again? If they can't agree on this huge thing, then it's probably for the best that they stay broken up. Having children is a big deal, and neither of them should have to compromise on what they want in life, especially if they feel really strongly about that. It wouldn't be fair for Bryan to miss out on having kids if he's always wanted to have a family, but at the same time, you can't force Mariah to have more kids if she doesn't want to. That would be really awful, and it would be unfair to the kids as well. So I don't know. I guess anything could happen. We'll just have to pay attention to the news in the upcoming months comments. But in the meantime, what do you guys think about all this? What are your thoughts on Bryan and Mariah's breakup? Were you shocked by the news? And why do you think Mariah has had such bad luck in love? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.